Hi folks, I'm Ian on the editor of JesusWired. I'm here today with the Orphan Will Tunink. Say hello to the folks out there.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
So, how's your day going? How's your day been so far?
Oh man, it's been good. Just finishing up some work and looking forward to being able to have some time with friends and enjoying some awesome food. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, it's been a good day. How about you?
Yes, it's been a good productive day here. So all that friends and food, is that why you've got all the lights set up and stuff to have a disco in your home and stuff?
Just have a big old party. Yeah.
Are you going to play your own music as a DJ, or are you going to play other people's music?
Oh yeah, no, we'll definitely vibe on a bunch of different people's stuff. I'll make sure that my buddy Rajan's got some music in there. We'll bump some 116 and everything else too. It'll be
I,
a good time.
I was wondering how long it would take to bring Rajan to this conversation.
Always, he's my
And big
brother.
up the 116 crew as well.
Yeah, Between Two Worlds, man, that's a classic album. Love that.
I like the
Triple
fact you
E.
know that just from the word between. I like that.
100%, man. Yep, I grew up with that. It was dope.
So
So
you're embedded in the CHH culture. So how did you find out about CHH? How did you get introduced to Reach Records and all those people?
yeah, it's actually very interesting. So I grew up on an eclectic sound of music, everything ranging from Kirk Franklin to Celine Dion to the Beatles to um, a lot of rock and everything in between. And so music was always around me in my life. And then there came a point where I actually listened to an album by an artist named Toby Mac that was called Welcome to Diverse City. And that was my introduction, I would say, into more hip hop rap style. That really intrigued me. It was something different than I was totally used to, and I really, really liked it. So then I heard about a group named Grits, and Grits had an album called Dichotomy A,
Dichotomy,
excuse me.
yeah.
There we go. Words today. And
Words every
uh,
day, right?
yeah, right. Oh man. And so I heard their song Hitting Curves. And then I also had heard Here We Go. And I mean, obviously Ooh Ah is like their big song, but I'd heard all those other ones before that and I love them. They were my favorite rap group ever since I got started listening to hip hop and rap. And then after listening to Grits for a while, I stumbled upon a CD that was called Real Talk by a guy named Lecrae. And I'd actually, now I think about it, I'd actually listened to After the Music Stops before I heard Real Talk, because I'd heard Jesus music and I'd heard Praying for You. And so those songs rocked me. And then shortly after hearing those two albums, he released Rebel. Like it was just like, it was a couple months before that release and I heard it and then I heard Don't Waste Your Life. And that was the song that absolutely wrecked me. It awoke my faith, and it absolutely put me into the roots of hip hop and rap, and just how raw and genuine and honest it was. It spoke to my heart. So that was a really long-winded answer,
Oh,
but
that's awesome. I'm pretty sure we got into hip hop the same kind of way.
that's
I
awesome.
wasn't through Toby Mac, but I was hitting curves with Grits as well. I was Jesus music with McRae.
Yeah.
I was Flame. I think it was
Yes.
Rewind. I think. Um, but yeah, so we got into the same. But when did you know that you could rap? Like, when did you know you were cool to become a rapper?
Man, that's a phenomenal question because for me, I had always been insecure just in general in life with everything I did. Like I was like, nah, I'm not that good at that. No matter what it was, I was just like, yeah, I'm not that great. So when I was listening to rap and hip hop around 16, I finally was like, you know what? I kind of want to try to see what it would look like if I rapped myself, like, and did some of my own lyrics and let some of my own heart speak. And so I started writing some lyrics and stuff like that. And it was absolute garbage. Like, it was just terrible. It was some of the worst.
Do, do, do,
Like,
do you still have those lyrics?
I still have a SoundCloud link to some of my very, very old stuff, and I do not show that to anybody. But it's a good
I'll just like to say
reminder.
my inbox is open and it'll be kept.
Ian, I would hate for you to look at me differently.
How do you know how I look at you already?
Well, let's just say it was a very big pile of trash. So it took me quite a while. But I had some really good people around me, and they poured into me and showed me what it meant to rap, how to write well, how to line your lyrics well. Because when I started, I had no idea. I didn't know what it meant to write an 8-bar. I didn't know what it meant to write a 16. I didn't know what the lines and structures and rhythms and patterns meant. I just really loved the music. And so it took me a good couple of years. I started when I was 15, 16, and then I would say not until I was 17, maybe 18, did I really start getting that down. So, but when I put out my first single or two, and I noticed how people were responding and how those lyrics were starting to hit people, especially with a song I made when I was called Echo with a guy named Chris Weaver. There was a song called Free, and I put it on thesouth.com, and there was a lot of people that resonated with that song heavily. They resonated with the lyrics, they resonated with the pain, the struggle, and also the desire for hope and freedom. And so when that song came out, I think that's when I really felt it. I really was like, you know what? This is what I've wanted, because that's what Lecrae did for me. He gave me hope and he gave me freedom, and God used him to do that. And then I wanted to give that back. So yeah, I think when Free came out in 2012, I think it was, that's when I knew. So about 8 years ago.
Well, I was going to save this question for right at the end of the interview, but I would be remiss to be talking to you in person and not ask you about Free. So what's the response been like from that song? Have you met any cool people through that song? What's it like having your sister in that video and stuff like that? Was it your sister in the video?
Yeah, I actually, both of my sisters. I technically got 3 sisters, but 2 of them were in the video. Brianna, who's my older sister, she was the main actress in that video. And my twin sister was another sister who was in that video. So yeah, I do have a twin as well, which is another piece of
so does the other sister feel left out? Was she just not free that day?
She wasn't. I see what you did there. Yeah, she was not that day, which is okay. Hopefully someday we can have a video with her. But Free, that has always been that song that I think people bring up, and it reminds me that lyrics and the heart and the message behind it can go so much further than your own thoughts on it. Like, looking back now, I'm like, you know what? Free was a powerful song. I could have done much better with my delivery and everything like that. You're always your worst critic, you know? But just hearing the power behind that song, there's so many direct messages I got on Twitter and Instagram of people like, my goodness, when I heard that song, it really either saved my life, it changed me. I get that a lot with Invisible still from my first album, Broken Connection. Those 2 songs, I'd say Invisible and Free, are the ones that people were like, man, that really changed my life. And then I met you through that song too, which is absolutely incredible. It floored me that somebody in a different country would be listening to my music. Like, I just was like, how is that possible? Like, what? That can't be. Like, I'm just this artist from Iowa. Like, nobody outside of my family and some of my friends listens to my music. But then that happened, and praise God. Like, I'm grateful that it hit you and that you enjoyed it and that you've been along in this journey ever since. So yeah, it's been fun to hear that.
Dude, it's genuine. I don't say this lightly. It's legitimately one of the songs that means the most to me out of all the music I've ever heard.
Wow.
It's that verse at the end from you.
Yeah.
It's that verse at the end.
And
I'm grateful that our connection over 8 years hasn't been broken either.
Oh,
just a little plug for his
look at that, man.
little plug for his old identity.
Look at that. And it's even in good condition. Like, I can't even say that about my copies of the album. Like, you keep it in good condition. That's what's up.
I look after my things.
That's good, man. Man, I try to do the same, but sometimes they get some wear and tear. But
well, seeing as this interview's gone a bit topsy-turvy, and I'm asking the questions at the end of all the questions I've got written down, I'm asking the ones at the end. I've got a bone to pick with you, and I'm going to pick it with you now.
Pick it. Let's go.
When you sent me that CD ages ago, you sent me a lovely letter, and you poured your heart into it, and you added a thing that I knew was definitely for me. And I loved it, and it's pinned up my notice board every day I see it, and I love it. But if you're going to send a letter to your only fan overseas, make sure you spell her name right.
Oh no! I threw another A in there. No.
Most people leave out the second I, but you just went. Let's just throw an extra A in there as well.
You know what? Just give him an extra A. He deserves it. Like, just.
Oh, I like it. Touche. You've got yourself out of that one. I will be a good Christian and forgive you for that now.
It sounds like I just need to send you another letter, man. It sounds like you deserve it. So.
I wouldn't waste the postage, but it's completely up to you.
That wouldn't be a waste at all, man. No, I will rectify that at some point.
You heard it here, folks. You heard it here first, folks.
Yep. That is signed, sealed, delivered. We're going to make that happen, whether that's an in-person concert where I cross that A out of the letter or I deliver him a new letter. Either way, we're going to make it.
Just turn up my front door, cross the A out, and then exit and go back home.
Just be like, hey, I just flew here to cross that A out.
To be honest, that sounds like a bar. Just flew here to cross that A out.
You just cross the A. That's awesome.
So I think we should probably talk about your new identity because you're no longer Echo.
Yeah.
Long gone, dead and buried 4 years ago. So what led you to bury Echo and, well, basically set yourself free?
Yeah. I think it's what you said right there. Setting myself free. I think I really love the journey with Echo. Like, I never want anybody to hear me say that I don't think powerful things like didn't happen with Echo. I think it did. It's evident. But it was getting to a point towards the end there where I recognized that it was kind of like a facade. Like, it was like I'm trying to keep up this holy front of like who I was. And I just, in that season of my life, I wasn't being that. Like I was just putting on a mask and not really actually talking about the things I was dealing with and what I was really going through. I was just putting out music that was safe to make people feel encouraged and feel uplifted and all that kind of stuff, which is great. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm so much about being transparent and real with who I am that it was weighing on me. And so it was finally time for me to put out Echo is Dead and bury Echo. Now, there have been rumors that Echo swing back through again just for a rematch at some point, and that has not been
the Echo is still reverberating.
Echo's not going down without a fight, but that might happen. We'll see. But it came to a point where I did not want to keep going into that environment and saying, yeah, this is who I am, because it wasn't who I am. And I think it's very evident now with the music that I've been putting out, who I truly am. And so, that's why I switched. I wanted to be real with people. I wanted to be transparent and brutally honest. If it even led to people being surprised or like, wow, I didn't know that you struggled with that. I didn't know you went through that. Or I didn't know that was a part of your story. I wanted to stop playing that two-faced game. So, and I think people deserve that. So yeah, it was time for me to hang up Echo and really be who I was. So
that's awesome. So we should probably talk about new music. So the Orphan, the album came out on Friday, 5 days ago. So what's it like to have it out in the world after all this time, and what's the feedback been like on it?
It's been surreal, man. It's crazy because you feel like really like it really happened. Like it finally came out. Like after all this time of prepping and planning and working on it and editing it and changing it and all this kind of stuff, it's been ready for a while. And to finally have it drop is like, wow, okay, wait, we're actually here. Like this actually happened. So the response has been amazing. It's been powerful. People are really connecting with the songs because this album really is a part of each and every single one of us. And our story at some point or another. One of these tracks speaks to something that all of us have gone through. All of us are maybe still going through. And so for me, it's been incredibly exciting to finally have the opportunity to walk through that with people. Like I've just been having this with myself for a year, actually now more like almost 2. And to like finally be able to hear people say, wow, that song, those lyrics hit me. And I was like, yes, I agree. And I was really excited for it to hit that for you. So it has been a true blessing to be able to finally have it out and to be able to share that with people. It's been a wonderful moment.
That's also what you shared earlier about your insecurities and stuff. So was that kind of where the song "I'm a Be Me" came from? Which I think might be your strongest song to date.
Oh, right on, man.
It just feels like it's you.
That's good. Like I love that. Like, hey, listen, it would be unfortunate if "I'm a Be Me" was not me.
That's
but
true.
I love
that is true.
That's awesome. I'm glad you like it. What's crazy about "I'm a Be Me" is other than let's see here. I think other than "Why," "I'm a Be Me" was the only other song that actually was not planned for the album. Like I was.
But why?
Right? I see what you did there. Very nice. Yeah.
I'm on the ball.
I love it. I love those.
Actually on a chair, but yeah.
Yeah. It just, I was 80% done with the album. I was just kind of perusing through some beats just to be inspired, just to have some fun. And I heard the beat for "I'm Gonna Be Me," and I was just like, I've got to do it. Like, not only was I looking at my track list and like, dang, all these songs are so heavy. It's just, I wanted to have a song on there that was just a bop, that was just a hit, that was just, people could just really get into and just be like, yeah, I'm gonna be me. Like, just, and feel it for themselves. Like, not that the lyrics aren't deep, not like the lyrics aren't powerful still. They still are incredibly, like, it's talking about the absolute chain binding power that comparison has on our lives and how we live every single day. But I just wanted to have a really fun song on the album like that. And so, yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like, a lot of people say, yeah, man, I'm gonna be me. Like that really hits. Like, I have fun with that one. And it's like, man, it's crazy because that song wasn't really like, I was going back and forth on if I would even put it on the album, if I was just gonna have it as a single after. So I'm glad I made it. I'm glad I made it through, and I'm glad people are really enjoying it. That was definitely probably one of the most well-received songs in Ghana when I went to Ghana in February. End of January, February? I can't even remember now. But they really liked that song. And so that was really cool.
So there's a video of that dance group in Ghana. I can't remember their name. Forbent?
Forbent, yep.
Well, that just came out of nowhere. Just
that's awesome.
Dancing to that song. So how did that make you feel about your own dance moves, seeing them dance?
Insane. It's one of those moments that still is like, wait, people listen to my music, or people are listening to this music and it actually makes them want to dance. Like, I love that. Like, that, it's so humbling to me. And I'm so grateful for that, because I do want that. Like, I mean, I used to teach hip hop classes and dance actually when I was in high school. And so to have that moment where it's like, whoa, so many songs I've choreographed from like 116 and everybody else, now to have someone like choreograph a song to, or a dance to one of my songs like that, that's just insane. So it was a beautiful moment. I was really grateful. They showed mad love, and they did a phenomenal job. I love that video so much. So shout out to Phil. Phil, who went on the trip with me, Phil Kinnison. He's awesome. Shout out to him for capturing that in one take. Like they're like, hey, let's do it. And Phil was like, all right. And then when we got done, he's like, do you guys want to do that again at all? And they're like, no, we're good. It's like, wow. Yeah, you guys crushed it in one take. So yeah, I was very happy with it. So
yeah, that's awesome. So you've just mentioned that this album is pretty heavy in tones and topics and stuff. So you address some really deep personal pain on it, especially through Bill's Fold. But he does. So how does it feel getting that pain out into the world? Is it tough to put that out and know that other people can see a part of your story, or is it kind of cathartic in a way?
Yeah, I think both and. It's hard to put something like that out, especially that song is a morphing of my story and my nephew's story. And so to be able to see how that's affected my life, but also to see how that song is literally playing out in his life right now. No matter how much you're there to love him and everything like that, it's just part of his story. And so it's insane, man. A lot of people heard that song and they're like, dude, you really had to go to a place to put that out, didn't you? And it was like, yeah, it's insane. And it's painful, but I know without a shadow of a doubt that there are hundreds of thousands of people that have that exact same story. And for them to hear that, to know that they belong because someone finally has shared their story that they've held and suppressed for so long. That's what I want these songs to be. I want these songs to be a home for people who are dealing with that pain and feel like they're the only one dealing with it. And for them to finally be able to say, someone gets me, someone understands me, and I'm not an orphan by myself anymore. So
that's awesome. I'll just cross off the one message you want people to take from this album. Thanks for saving us time.
I love that.
So the last question about the album that I've really got is that on Homer's Prodigy, my favourite part of the entire album is when you have that line about singing, that you should sing a bit more. And la-di-da-di-da. So did that, I have to know, did that come from personal messages that you've received saying you really need to sing more? I can't stand this rap stuff.
Yeah. Man, this is what I love about you.
There was so much class in it.
Dude, I love these moments because then you know someone's listening to the lyrics. They get it. I love these moments so much. Yes, you are spot on. I have heard countless times, especially once I started introducing songs like Fade, and some of Why and Clarity, and then when I've done covers and stuff like that, people are like, man, we really need to hear that side of you more. We really need to hear you sing. And so Homeless Prodigy kind of felt like my, if it's to help other people understand who don't listen to my music yet, Homeless Prodigy is really my NF moment.
I was about to say, it's like your NF intro.
Yeah, it's like my NF intro,
which is ironic because you address NF in it.
Yeah, I'm just like, listen, I'm not here to be an NF copycat or an Eminem, Jeezy, whoever you want to pick. I'm here to be me. But yeah, I've heard that so many times. Yeah.
Unintentionally, but I see what you did there.
Yeah, I had to. I had to throw one back. Yeah, so I've heard that a ton of times in my life, and it's not like I don't appreciate it. I appreciate that people like my singing voice. I appreciate that people enjoy my singing voice. I actually am going to be leaning towards a lot of that in the future. You'll hear more of that more and more as we go along. But it was just
la-di-da-di-da.
La-di-da-di-da. And I love, shout out to my bro, Rajan, again, can never seem to go without saying it. But it's because he mixed and mastered most of this album. He did a phenomenal job taking my vision for those songs and crushing it. That part, I was like, dude, I kind of want to do this la-di-da-di-da-di-da and make it this fun moment that's jabbing back. And he crushed it. He did a great job with it. So for me, yeah, I needed that moment to let out some of that steam and really say like, hey, I love singing. Yes, you're going to hear some of that, but your boy can still rap too, and he's still going to do it. So let me go right now. Like, so yeah. Yeah. I love that.
100%. Right, I feel as though I need to ask you about Rajan. So tell us one embarrassing story about all the times you've had together. What's one funny or embarrassing story that comes to mind?
There's a lot. And most of them are moments where I'm the embarrassing one and he's just the reasonable one. So
I can understand that.
Yes. Yeah. So okay. So we used to work at the same place. We used to work for Pulse 101.7 together. I used to be on the radio. He's still there. He's crushing it every single morning. But we were moving furniture and it was a square table. And it wasn't fitting where we needed it to fit. And I was like, well, wait a second. What if we turn it the other way? And he's like, is it not a square? Like, he just is like, is it not a square? And I like pause and I'm like, you're right. There's nothing we can do here. So it was a very embarrassing
You really shouldn't be trying to fit a square table into a square hole.
It's like fitting a square into a circle peg. Like, it's just a square peg into a circle hole. Like, it just, no matter which way you turn that square, it's not going to work. So, but
unless the square is smaller than the circle.
Facts. See,
just like to bring some maths into it. They say in school you always have to use this maths, and they were right.
And they were right there. That's the moment. It's the moment I've been waiting for all these years when I felt like math was like, why did I have to use that?
Yeah, that was totally worth all that studying for that moment.
Well, that's just one of many. There's so many more, but yeah, he's a great dude. He's my bro. So
I was recently clearing out all my bookmarks on my computer to help, because I bookmark everything to write about them and stuff. And I was clearing it all out, and I found him at one of the Winter Jam doing some clean music as he sweeps his broom across the stage.
Looking forward to some clean music. Sweep, 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 sweep. That was so good.
Looking forward to some clean music. Da-di, 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 da.
That would be a fire. I might have to do that now, Ian. I might have to take that. And
I accept PayPal for my commission.
Yep. Yep.
Right. We need to wrap this up, so I know you need to go. So some fun questions to finish off, just to get to know Will quick. Some quick fire questions. So what's your favourite food?
My favorite food. My favorite food, like kind of dish, would probably have to be chili and cornbread. But pizza is right there, as well as burritos. Like
at the same time.
They're all just kind of like overlapping together. It kind of depends on the day, but usually chili and cornbread wins out. So
that sounds good. What's your favorite Bible verse?
My favorite Bible verse. Man, there's been quite a few that have actually been really rocking me lately. Let me see if I can pull this one up real quick. Sorry. I was reading in we've been reading in Proverbs in 3rd John, and those have been the ones that are hitting me. But this is the one that I want to share with you that stuck with me the longest. Yeah. 2 Peter 1, verse 15. So I will work hard to make sure you always remember these things after I'm gone. And he's talking about what Jesus has done, the message that we are to share with other people in this world. And that verse just reminds me, like, okay, what am I living for? Like, what, at the end of the day, what is all this for? Is it for Will to be famous? Is it for Will to get glory? Is it for everybody to think Will was a nice guy? If Will was a good person? Or is my legacy, once I'm gone, for people to recognize? That man shared in real, authentic pain, in joy, in life, in blessings and trials and all that. He shared through all of that Jesus was his hope. long after he's gone, and that legacy I hope lives on. So that 2 Peter 1 verse 15, that's kind of the one that's always stuck with me. There's so many others. I mean, Romans 8:28. I mean, like all of that, like God's love has never, like, can never be separated from it. Like there's so many that I could pick, but 2 Peter 1:15.
I mean, that's awesome and everything, but you absolutely failed that question, because as a fan of Reach Records, the only correct answer to that question is that one.
I figured that they kind of had that one. Like, you know, like I think like when you go around when you're like in 5th grade and everybody's like, what's your favorite Bible verse? And then someone before you takes your favorite verse and you're like, well, now I can't say that one. I feel like they kind of got the corner on that one, so I had to go with something else. But that's great. Romans 1:16 is fantastic. Lecrae, don't get mad at me.
Lecrae, he still wants to choreograph some of your routines.
Man, let's go.
What's the most embarrassing music that you love to listen to that no one else gets? And this is not a chance to say Lecrae.
Oh my gosh. Nah, Lecrae has still been the biggest influence on my life. That would be hilarious though. Man, that is such a good question. Embarrassing. Nobody else gets.
What do you love to jam to when you're just getting ready in the morning? Or
I mean, man, I jam to a lot of different people. I jam to John Bellion, Andy Mineo, and nothing necessarily too embarrassing. I mean, there's always those moments where you got to like turn up, and there's songs that you wouldn't necessarily encourage other people to listen to, but you're like, yeah, I kind of feel that one. So like some Justin Timberlake or something like that, I can really get with. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say Justin Timberlake, because like I mean, I'm not ashamed of it. I'll listen to JT any day, but there are some songs that are not necessarily the most appropriate that sometimes I'm like, this is still a bop though. So like can't yeah. Gotta rock with my man JT.
if you had to choose which to fight out of 100 horse-sized ducks, 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck, which one would you choose?
Oh man,
coming in with the real questions now.
Yeah, this is a deeply spiritual question.
I'll be very impressed if you manage to put a Bible connection into this.
I think I'd be impressed with myself too, because I'm not gonna have one. I would probably say the one horse-sized duck, like that. Yeah, I'd rather face one thing than 100. Like 100 of those. I don't care what size. Like,
yeah, 100% the same. Right, and my final question that I love to ask every artist.
Yeah.
If Pinocchio was to say that my nose would grow right now, what would happen?
That your nose would grow right now?
If Pinocchio was to say that his nose would grow right now, what would happen?
Oh. Somebody be lying. He'd be lying. Or something. I don't know. Is that a riddle?
It's a complete paradox.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
I love the moment that your eyes just really widened. When
you got me.
Hit you.
It's like, wait, his nose grows when he lies. What's going on here? Dang, bro. That's good.
All right, well, to wrap up this interview, how can our readers be praying for you over the coming weeks and months? And yeah, how can we be praying for you, man?
Just be praying that the music really connects with the people who need to hear it. I know there's a lot of people with 2020 that not only COVID's been difficult, but a lot of inner battles have been difficult too. And so I just really pray that this album really meets people where they are and reminds them that they're not alone in this year and they're not alone in what they're going through. And just be praying that whenever the enemy tries to crush me, that I continue to rest in Jesus, and I also continue to rest in good community and strong foundation. So, yeah.
Well, we will 100% be praying for that, and our readers will as well. Just to personally encourage you to finish off, you're on the right track, man. Your music is connecting with people, it's setting people free, and encouraging them to I'm gonna be me and to rap and not sing and all that kind of stuff. It's really getting over and stuff, and there's no broken connection there.
Hey.
I had to get that in one more time.
Hey.
Well, and for anyone wondering why there was a continuity error in halfway through this interview, it's because my Wi-Fi cut out and really did have a broken connection. And I was just sat here going, "Oh, we seem to have lost Will. His Wi-Fi seems to have had a broken connection." Just cracking jokes, and then it just realised, "Oh, it's me."
Oh, it's me. Oh no. It's all good, man. No, thank you for having me. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk with you and to share that with other people. Thank you for who you are. Like, I mean, man, you've been at this with me since 2013 when Broken Connection came out, or even before that a little bit. So thank you for the love. Thank you for the continual support. JesusWired is fantastic. I appreciate you all so much. Yeah, thank you from the bottom of my heart. It means so much, and still blows my mind that somebody could be listening to my music across the seas. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.
Oh, so. I appreciate that, and just so you know, folks, we didn't pay him to say that about Jesus. That was unsponsored.
I'm still waiting for my check, though. No,
I'm still waiting for my A's to be crossed out.
Facts.
Well, it's been an absolute blast chatting to you today, man, and finally getting to talk to you face to face and not just your face to my comments on lives and stuff.
It's crazy.
But yeah, everyone out there, go and get. In fact, just where can people get plugged into you?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's Will Tunink, Tunink, on all platforms. It's the same thing, no matter where you go. You can find me on there. And then the Orphan is available on all digital streaming platforms. If you want a hard disk copy, it is available on my website, willtunink.com. Same thing. So go check all that out.
Sweet. Absolutely. Go and check that out, and go and follow him on all the social medias and stuff. He's awesome, and yeah, 100% good. The Orphan is home.
The Orphan's home. Hey, see you later, man.